Vincent, how's your spirit? Mine, peace. I am content at the moment. Checking some things in the background real quick, trying to see if I can do something, but not overly concerned with it. Uh, I think I just posted it on Facebook. I was watching a video, I don't know who posted it, but it was titled One Last Thing, and it's from Jungle Fever. Through the years, I've experienced what they call jungle fever, usually the other side interested in me. For the last 30 years, I've said no, specifically because I had sons. And I needed a man who was going to be around them if it wasn't their father, to be someone who could identify with them on almost a molecular level. The average non black identifying gentleman doesn't understand what that is. It's always, well, not all of us, not only you experience racism. It's not okay for you to say those words because they hurt my feelings. When it comes to being a parent, you don't get to have feelings in the sense that you got to know that they're going to hurt. Having them hurts. Making the choices. Do I go back to college? Can I go to college in 5 years? What would be in 20 years if I had you today? See, for me, there was no obligation, really. At 16, I knew I wanted to be a mother. At 18, I decided to be kind with my words so that my children wouldn't get karma by way of parents, so to speak, at least. And then I met their father. I'd already gone to college. There was um, student housing for families. I could have gone back. We didn't marry out of that type of love. I loved my mother. I loved my son. I loved myself and this is love. We created a child. You can be involved or not be involved. The only level at which you can be involved is the level of involved father. We can get married, or I can go off to school, and you can come find us when you're ready to be an involved father. We went around about it for a while, and eventually we got married. October 1995. The following weekend, I left Germany, headed to Fort Bragg with my parents. My mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer. She had 6 months from basically September. The weekend after that, my children's father would go to war in support of in the Bosnia Kosovo conflict. I always looked at Ashi and Ruby as the living exemplar then of black excellence by way of bringing their people forward in society through all of the means that they had at their disposal. And I started seeing all these fallacies, false reality people, you know, supposed activists. I think after Muhammad Ali, like this last celebrity activist one, that generation, at least, that's the end of the Harlem Renaissance. I just recognized we could have a new renaissance in this country. See, everyone thinks it is their turn. So they just copy me, then they can have whatever it is that I have, or we're supposed to have, because they believe that they are owed something. I continue to remain hesitant to state that it is white men and women who have created this toxic environment of women who don't have to fend for themselves, who don't know how to. Men have made it okay for a certain type of woman to siphon off of them and to be pretty. I've been a woman on both ends of the spectrum. When I was 16, I wrote a poem about fat, black, and lonely or ugly. I don't remember which one. Same time, my older sister gave me paper to type for her. It's so funny because inside of that paper was basically a story about me and my stepfather and us coming into her life. She said, type it, but don't read it. And I was like, whatever. And then let's see, we moved forward 20 something years later, I suppose. And we're in the same creative writing class in North Carolina. I don't know if they could tell that we were siblings, but when we didn't say anything. My married last name is Hill. Her married last name starts with a C. And we didn't really begin to look like each other until a couple of years later when I graduated culinary school. Well, we're just sitting there in the class, and that's the thing. That's what life was like for us, really. She was just like a part of the class and happened to be my sister. I wasn't allowed really to do any of those girl things in my youth. No makeup, no heels. I didn't go on a date until I was 16. I've never shaved my legs a day in my life, nor do I need to, but I never have. Um, and it's because I had been betrothed since I was a young girl. I don't know if the young man's parents went to Africa and started a ministry, and with my mother, my stepfather, his mother, father, and my biological father were all in a friend group of black nationalists. Some of them, this is the 70s, 60s. Some of them wanted to leave the country. Some of them wanted to stay. Some wanted to expatriate and still be black nationalists. You get it? So yeah, somewhere along the way, they came up with this idea that he and I would eventually marry and run something. I think people thought that I didn't know it. I did. I always have. I just you can't fight for your rights until you can fight for your rights. My mother passed away uh, right when I was 21, right when the information would have been otherwise given to me to make decisions in my own life. So, for the past 30 something years, people who don't really care about my best interest have been making decisions on my behalf to include whom I can or cannot date. Those movies, Spike Lee, John Hughes, John Singleton, they gave me a certain sense of reality that just also didn't fit my reality. I don't know why it is that I'll meet a skinhead and they'll decide they want to befriend me, then beat me up. You have to ask them. I'm presuming because I show no fear. I don't care. It's not, to me, it's ignorance. For calling you ignorant for your belief that you're better than me because you're a man, because you're white, because you made white babies. That doesn't mean anything to me. It's not about what you've done for me lately. It's about the fact that you can't do what I can do for me. There's higher learning, there's school days, and there's the breakfast club. Those are like my lived experiences being an educated black woman in this country who chose not to go directly to a PWI specific or HBCU. These are the, like, I'd rather learn my own way, even to this day. I'm proud of the woman that I've become. I pray that people will accept my happiness because I'm not changing it for anybody. This isn't the longest that I've been celibate. It's just that I am celibate, and this time with the clear eyes of like not waiting for my spouse, right, or whatever it is. There's a freedom in it, not being beholden to your lust or anyone else's. That's what real love is of self. When you love yourself enough to see more value in you than what you have between your legs or your ears. There's power in being you freely and rolling with the punches and recognizing every morning that you made it to the morning. Because it's possible someone might not have. In that scene from Jungle Fever, Samuel L. Jackson, trained actor, I was, was a crackhead. Spike Lee went to Juilliard, I believe. No one ever questions Spike's blackness, though. Juilliard's a PWI, funded by liberal whites. Also, I'm just saying, y'all wanted to tell me who was black and who wasn't. You want to make me out to be AI and a social media page. Because I see things differently. Now we live in a world where jungle fever is a common thing. What if it's true though? What if you have a fever because you've been mixing species rather than races? That's how you get Reese's pieces, racist pieces of feces, because they was out here laying with animals, literally and figuratively. I'm gonna bring up the Yakubians and the Donners one more time so y'all can recognize the Donner Party moved from the east of this country to the west of this country, seeking gold in this country. They got to the Hastings Pass and realized that they couldn't last. Along the way, they were taking some other folks on with them, and they lost them behind. The Donners would go up into some caves, mountains, cold as it was, and eventually have to eat each other to survive. 48 Donners stayed alive. Are there any Donners in your party? See? You might want to start questioning that when you look at what you're going to do with your mean, right? You decide who you want to lead you to victory in polite society. These new live streamers are the new celebrity influencers. They allow their celebrity to influence their decision making. Where Ruby Dee and Ozzy allowed their influential intellect to dictate their celebrity by way of which roles they chose to partake in. Same with Mr. Jackson and Mr. Lee. They write black stories for money. They're a part of the industry. I am neither sane nor am I sane. I'm just saying. What makes you believe that the industry had anyone's best interest in mind? See, the overall premise of the movie is about a very, very dark skinned man by the name of Wesley Snipes getting with, I believe, an Italian woman. A question for you. If the movie's about jungle fever, why do we have to have a crackhead scene in it? If the movie's about black love, why does the father have to murder the brother? The juxtaposition to your biblical narrative about us. Both men lay with the forbidden fruit of whiteness. One's crack, one's a woman. Mom and daddy invited the first one in, not with open arms, yet greeted her far more openly than they did the crack. Right? In the end, daddy only murders a crackhead. Does it destroy the whole family? Then seeking out Italy and the cocaine? I'm not saying it's about race. I'm saying that she wasn't from that place. Not being from that place, because a lot of disruption, whether we're talking about crack or the white lady. Don't y'all call white powder white girl? I don't do those things. But you can see why now. White men see me as a fetish. So do African men. Black men see me as their mother. I'm not waiting for anybody. Peace.